Hey y'all, it's Ms. Pastorius. I'm coming to you to give you an art project for at home. So we're going to need a couple things to start with this art project. You are definitely going to need a glue stick and a pair of scissors. You're also going to need 2 pieces of paper. Now I would like one to be green construction paper, like this green construction paper. But if you don't have green construction paper, that's okay. Really, ideally, both pieces of paper would be construction paper. One would be green, and one would be another color of your choice. I chose this like pinky purple color, okay? So what we're gonna do is this. We are going to fold our green piece of paper in half, like a hot dog. Now, if we had a hot dog, and we had a hot dog bun. Let's say we have a hot dog bun. So go like this, and the hot dog would go in here, right? So the next step of what we're gonna do is we are going to take a ruler, or you don't have to use a ruler, I guess. And from the bottom of the bun to close to the top of the bun, but not super close, you know, we're gonna draw a bunch of lines. So if I were to draw a line like this, I'd be taking my ruler and drawing a line, right? Okay. So now we have all our lines here. Our next step is this. We are going to cut these lines, okay? And that's why it's important that the folded part at the bottom of the hot dog bun, is where the line starts, because it will not work. This project won't work if you have it in the wrong direction. It's not a big deal, but it won't work. And I don't know if I said this already, you don't have to have this many strips. I think it looks better, but it does make it a little bit more difficult and tedious. So if you don't want, I understand if you don't want to do all these lines. Okay, so cutting my lines, cutting my lines, cutting my lines. I got it. Almost there. All right, one more. Okay, I've got all my lines cut. My piece of paper looks like this. It's got all these like accordion bits. Accordion isn't the right word, but you know, whatever. It's like this. Now, the next step would be to draw on the front of this paper some grass. Now, I did this with oil pastels. They are probably going to be the best for this project because they show up really nicely on construction paper. However, if you do not have oil pastels, you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils, you can use pen, you can use a pencil, and make your little bits of grass. Okay? So I've got my little bits of grass. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next step, actually. So I'm gonna put this up here. All right, that looks pretty nice. Okay, so our next step is we're going to take this, well, for me, it's a purple piece of paper, and we are going to draw some snakes on it, nice and long. You see how the snake is nice and long? It goes to each edge of the paper on the long side of the paper. This is a 9 by 12 piece of construction paper, so this snake should be around 12 inches. You want to make it long. Okay? And snakes are pretty easy to draw. When you're drawing a snake, you take your paper and you're gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down. A big sort of curvy line, and then you do another curvy line. You end one side with a point and the other side with like a little circle sort of shape. And I'm gonna draw my eyes right here, and maybe a little tongue, and nose, yeah. And then, you know, I've got some I've got some oil pastels that I can use to decorate my snakes. So again, they don't have to be oil pastels, but oil pastels do look really nice. They show up really great on the construction paper. And I'll bring that forward so you can see. So I'm just doing little triangles here. See? Pretty simple. Now, your next step is to cut out the snakes. Now, I didn't want to do that in the video because I thought it would take too long. I do want you to take your time with cutting out the snakes. So, I did that in advance, and I have some snakes cut out and at the ready already. Okay? So, this is one of our final steps. This is probably the hardest step, okay? Because we're going to do something called weaving, where we're going over and under, over and under, and over and under through the paper with our little snakes. So it's like the snakes are weaving through the grass, over, under. I'll show you. So I'm gonna take this snake right here, and he's gonna start over, and then I'm gonna go under. I switch it up. It's always over, under. It's never over, under. And I made it a little hard for myself because I put in so many little slots, because I really do think it looks better that way. But you don't have to do that. And I can already see actually that this snake is not even making it to the end of this paper, but I'm moving him up. And then this is why we need the glue stick. I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to put a little glue on the end on his head, so that he will stick. All right. I'm gonna put a little on his tail too. Oh, my glue stick running out. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna bring forward so we can see my snake. See how he's going over and under and over and under through the paper. Looks pretty nice. And I like to switch it up, so I'm actually going to have the next snake going in an opposite direction, so his head is facing this way. So I'm also going to switch it up. He's going to start under. So start under the paper, go over, under, kind of lift the paper up from the back and poke your snake through is a good technique for this. Whoa. And this snake ends up right here. So now I've got my next snake. There we are. Now I'm gonna just continue this process. Switching it up, making sure I'm making a change. So I had it go under to start for the last one. So I'm gonna start this one over. And this snake is also gonna, you wanna change it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Woo! And you will get the hang of it. It will get easier. There we go. There we go. There's my snake. That's pretty much the extent of this project. I will go in and finish all of it and put all of my snakes in, but it's the same process. So this is what I'm going to have in the end. I'm going to have this nice cool little image with all the snakes going through the grass. I think it looks pretty cool. Remember to secure it on both ends with a little bit of glue from a glue stick. And I look forward to seeing all of your artwork. Bye-bye, guys.